Hey everyone, hope you're having yourselves quite a day. I'm your host Jared Bronstein and welcome back to another video here on Life's Biggest Questions. Today we'll be talking about gargoyles. You know, the statues of those monstrous bat-like things that are usually seen on churches or cathedrals or other places, I guess. Yeah, those. There was even a TV show about them way back when I was a kid, but if they were to be real, well, I feel they'd be a lot scarier. Before we fly into it, make sure to subscribe, click that bell, and of course, as always, I encourage you guys to drop some comments with other videos you want to see on here. As we always do, I'll be replying to some of my favorite comments from a previous video at the end of this one, but that's not till much later. So for now, gargoyles. Let's talk about them. What are they? Where did they come from? What's their purpose? And how would they change the world as we know it? Well, let's find out. Let's go way back. We're talking ancient Egypt back. Gargoyles are made and they usually take the form of a lion's head. Their purpose? To drain water from rooftops. They were originally made because way back when, there was no such thing as gutters or eavesdrops, which would help get rid of the water that would build up on rooftops on rainy days or nights. That was their sole purpose. Then in the medieval times, cathedrals started to use them as well. However, what many people think are gargoyles are really just grotesque or chimeras. May have said that wrong. Is it chimeras? Who knows? They're totally ornamental and have no real purpose. This is what is seen on most churches as well, although some still do have gargoyles. So where did this name come from? Derived from the French legend La Gargouille, which was a horrifying dragon that terrorized the town of Rouen. The story goes on to explain it would swallow ships and flood the town until a priest named Romanus made an agreement with the people of the town. He would take care of this monstrous beast if the people of Rouen converted to Christianity. After they agreed, Romanus took down the beast by using the power of the cross and then burned the dragon alive. However, its head wouldn't burn, so the townspeople cut it off and put it on their church. This would now be a symbol to ward away any evil spirits or other monstrous beasts that wanted to attack the townspeople. As the years went on, other churches would start placing gargoyles on the roofs, of course to drain water, but also to act as a reminder to those who practiced. There's evil outside the church, but inside would be a safe haven. Their look would also change after these churches would mold their gargoyles to look like the creatures pagan tribes worshipped. The churches did this to bring those who were pagan to the church as well. As Darlene True Chris wrote in American Gargoyles, Spirits in Stone, churches grew in number and influence as the pagan belief system and many of its images were absorbed into Christianity. Nowadays, most of what we believe to be gargoyles, as previously mentioned, are just grotesques. They're for show and have no real purpose. Some are even sculpted after pop culture icons like Gremlins, Darth Vader's, among others. But we're going to be looking at the iconic gargoyle, or technically grotesque, and what would happen if they came to life. We're talking the kind of beast-like creatures that resemble a lion, with wings of a dragon and the face of a bat. You know, the classic gargoyle. Well, for starters, that'd be scary. It'd be almost as if the pterodactyl was roaming our skies, only difference being these things have wings on their back which aren't attached to their front arms or hands, and their faces aren't as long. But I would say scarier. If anything, I think these are way scarier. Just imagine a flying lion with the wings of a bat or dragon. How would you even combat that? I'll give you a pro tip. You wouldn't. Now, like most evil things, it seems these things come alive at night, at least in the Gargoyle TV show they did. I mean, we're talking about statues, right? So let's go with the notion that sunlight, or daytime at the very least, turns these things into stone. It's a notion that is prevalent in a lot of mythology and fiction, and for the sake of this video, we're going to go with it. So during the day, we'd be okay. Everything would be pretty normal. Not much would change. But at night, things would certainly change. We'd have flying dragon-like creatures with a mix of lion and possibly monkey or even bat in them as well. They would run on evil, be insanely dangerous, and of course, they'd be bloodthirsty. This would change the way we live, the way we do literally anything and everything at nighttime. In short, well, we just wouldn't. Going out for some eggs late at night could be a very dangerous task if these beasts were flying in our skies. We'd pretty much all have to stay inside after dark. In the wintertime especially, this would be problematic, at least in Toronto when it gets dark by 6 p.m. We'd have much shorter work days. It would also be dangerous to go outside on cloudy or rainy days when the sun isn't shining. We'd pretty much have these demon-like creatures roaming our skies without any way to stop them unless they turned to stone. When they did reach their stone form, we'd have to remove them from the top of churches, cathedrals, really anywhere they are placed, and smash them into pieces. But would that really destroy them? Who knows, because this is an entirely fictional video. If anything, I'd say we'd have to break the stone down to such small pieces it then turns into dust. Then we burn that dust. We'd need to completely destroy any traces of their being out of fear they may possibly come back. I mean, we're talking about evil flying dragon-like lion-faced demon monsters that are fueled on sin in a sense. What would be the best way to destroy them? We could go with the religion route, but would that mean those who don't practice specific religions wouldn't be affected by the gargoyles? And how would the gargoyles know? Possibly because they're demons or evil spirits. But what would that mean for someone who recently converted to Christianity, for example? Of course, these are all possible questions we can answer, but for the sake of this video, we're going in a much more general direction. The gargoyles would just attack anyone and everyone because they're evil-spirited monsters. Simple as that. Although at first we'd have to learn the hard way, with many people fleeing for their lives and these things attacking people who are out at night, eventually we'd find a way to control it. The army could get involved, but who knows if a gunshot would do anything against these creatures. A possible alternative solution would be to have spotlights on the gargoyles set up in the daytime. This way, when the sun goes away, there would still be a consistent light on the stone statue waiting to break out into its true form. I think ultimately we need to just destroy any and every trace of gargoyles on Earth. We need to make it a law worldwide that the creation of these stone statues are also prohibited. Some extremely religious people may see this as problematic because it'd be considered vandalizing religious property. But if it's for the greater good and safety of the public, I'd like to think they would make an exception. If they didn't, however, this could cause a divide between people more so than we already have. People may destroy various places of worship, and it'd be interesting to see how they would be punished, especially in places where there's tons of religious history, like Rome, for example. Now, ultimately, this video is totally hypothetical because most gargoyles are now just made for show. They don't seem to hold as much precedence as they used to, but history is still history. That being said, when it comes to the general public, I feel it would be necessary to destroy these things. We just have to hope turning them into dust and burning them would ultimately kill the evil spirit that is the gargoyle. Good news is, we'll never have to find out. And let me make it very, very clear, do not destroy or vandalize any places of worship, because that'd be a pretty disgusting thing to do. And if you do, well, you'll get what's coming to you. Whatever that may be. But on a later note, let's reply to some comments from the video. Should you really cover up your webcams? 1K Golden Apple said, technically there may be someone watching this video right now that have seen you while you were making this video. I actually thought about that while I was writing the video. I was like, is someone watching me sit at my desk right now, write this video? And I'm not joking, guys. Immediately after I made the video, I went home and I put black tape over my webcam, and it's been there ever since. I don't even care if it like messes up the screen a little bit. I'm not risking that anymore. Psych said, some person buys the iPhone 11 Pro that has 3 cameras. The same person covers all cameras. I actually got the 11 Pro like a month and a half ago, or about a month ago, and I usually have my phone face down, but the front camera is always, I guess, looking at me in a sense, which is also kind of creepy. Has the whole facial recognition, so I don't know what Apple's doing with that information. Like, they have my face and my fingerprint now in their database. Guess the government's got me if I ever commit a crime. Good thing I've never committed a crime. Phillips YT said, well, most people cover their webcams, but why don't they cover their microphones? It's actually a very good point as well. Snowden was actually on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about that. And it's a very interesting topic, you know, why cover just a webcam, not a microphone? Just because they can't see you doesn't mean they can't hear you. Maybe we'll make another LBQ, should you be covering your microphones? Let us know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in seeing that. A video solely on covering your microphones, whether it's on your computer, your phone, whatever it is. Let us know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. And on that note, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. Make sure you guys subscribe and of course click that bell to never miss a video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and share this video with a friend who you guys think likes gargoyles or doesn't like them. Either way, it's a cool video. Let us know your thoughts if you guys want to see that microphone cover up video, and we'll see you guys again soon.